Christ's letters. Continuation of letter 5. Thirdly, I have come to remove from your minds the pictures of an almighty God of magnificence and grandeur and unlimited active power, who rewards the virtuous and punishes the wicked. These beliefs are wholly erroneous, albeit comforting. Fourthly, I am explaining the truth of being for you to finally dispel the old concept of God sitting aloft somewhere in heaven, where he is said to have created the world and all that is in it in a relatively short while. Fifthly, I have come expressly to help science bridge the gulf between universal consciousness and the appearance of electrical particles. Without this bridge between the unseen spiritual dimension and the seen world of matter, science will remain rooted in old ideas and concepts instead of moving forward into new realms of spiritual scientific research for the betterment of mankind. I have also come to show you the true nature of that which brought you into being, gave you individuality, for without this knowledge, which will reveal to you the nature of your dual, yet fully interrelated being, spirit and body, you will also remain rooted in the same level of consciousness as you are at this moment. I want to make it manifestly clear that nothing ever comes from nothing. This is a well-known saying amongst you and a perfectly true one. However, there is an eternal, infinite, consistent foundation of beingness, and this I am going to reveal to you. You have not been created. You have drawn your being from it. Obviously, you could not have come from something entirely foreign to your own consciousness. I am asking my recorder to choose some mundane, understandable examples. You could not draw a feeling for tarts from a vat of treacle and discover they were mincemeat. You could not squeeze an orange and make ginger beer from the juice. You could not fill a balloon with air, pop it, and find it was dripping jelly. All the above examples chosen by my recorder are instances of logic. I want you to realize that your entire universe is a manifestation of logic and consistent logical effects arising out of related causation. Number 6. Cause and effect made visible. Your universe is cause and effect made visible. This is an undeviating principle of existence. If there are instances of deviations such as paranormal experiences or instantaneous healings, the average person exclaims in astonishment and science refuses to believe that such a thing is possible. As my explanation deepens, you will eventually understand how such deviations take place, logically and effectually. In other words, these deviations occur according to natural spiritual laws and always serve a necessary purpose. Nowhere is there any mindlessness in creation, even in the ant or gnat, unless the mind of an entity has been born defective or been damaged. Therefore, it is clear you live and operate in a physical universe which displays the highest degree of intelligence and purposeful activity within the creation of matter itself, in the physical bodies of all individual entities, from plants to human beings. Unfortunately, this high degree of intelligence and purposeful caring is only minimal in the consciousness displayed by the created entities themselves, from plants to human beings. In other words, the bodies in which you conduct your lives, in which you think and feel and do whatever comes to mind, manifest within their physical organs and working parts a very much higher order of intelligence and loving purpose than does your human consciousness. Human interests are mostly wrapped up in the problems of personal daily survival, enjoyment of pleasures, and emotional or physical satisfaction. To achieve these purposes, the majority of people use only the commodities manufactured out of matter. Even the minds of scientists cannot fully unravel the hidden secrets of earthly existence, and, despite all their scientific expertise, are as bogged down in the changing fortunes of existence as are those who have no learning at all. Therefore, it is a logical conclusion that that out of which you have drawn your physical being is one of immensity, not only of size, but immensity of willpower, the will to self-expression and creativity. Visualize for a moment the size of the material universe, the sun and its heat, the moon, the earth, planets and solar system, the galaxies of stars, and the fact that all this visible material is totally interdependent, yet also dependent on the movement of the planetary bodies and subject to universal laws of consistent function and movement. This vast universe has had its origins within and has been drawn out of the foundation of your being, and the entirety of life force energy in the universe has been drawn out of that same foundation of being. Therefore, do not be dismayed if, in my efforts to analyze for you the spiritual components of your source of being, you find that you recognize what these components are, and to a very, very, very limited extent, possess the same spiritual components of consciousness yourself. You have drawn all that you are, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, from your source of being. Before I explain to you how this could be, I want you to take certain steps to help your minds absorb the immensity of that, out of which you have drawn your being. After you have read the next pages to the end of my letter, take each paragraph individually into meditation and visualization, for only in this way will the words begin to grow in realization and take on the spiritual reality of their true meaning. All, spiritual, unseen, seen, imagined, is consciousness or awareness. The primary comprehensive nature of consciousness is awareness. It is not possible to have consciousness without possessing awareness. All that you see, all that you touch, hear, feel, know is consciousness, awareness made visible. There is nothing in the universe that is not consciousness made visible. Consciousness or awareness is infinite and eternal. There are two dimensions of consciousness, both beyond and within your own earthly plane of existence. The plane of heavy matter, solid form, the ultimate universal dimension of consciousness or awareness can never be fully or truly known by an individualized spirit. It is inaccessible. It is in equilibrium. It is the only source of all power, wisdom, love, intelligence. The universal dimension of consciousness, awareness, in equilibrium is a state of silence and stillness, out of which come sound, color, individualized form, and all visible creativity within the visible universe. Out of ultimate universal dimension of consciousness awareness in equilibrium has come all of creation, all the various unseen dimensions of existence descending in order of spirituality from the very portals of the universal dimension down to the most ponderous vibrational frequencies of inanimate earthly substances and beyond into unspeakable horrors of consciousness, perversions, and anti-truth. The ultimate universal dimension of consciousness awareness is not only in space, it is all space. It is undetectably everywhere. For those who think in terms of atoms, you can say it is the space in the atom. Therefore, it is in silence and equilibrium within the space of all elements and matter. The nature of universal consciousness is intent, inactive, and in equilibrium. Therefore, universal consciousness is an infinite, eternal, limitless, boundless state of powerful intent, pristine, pure, beautiful. This intent is to express its nature. Universal consciousness nature, intent, is the allness of will and purpose, always locked in embrace. The universal will is to move out and create. The universal purpose is to give individual form to creation and experience it. Within the ultimate universal dimension of consciousness, awareness, intent, universal will is in a state of mutual restraint with universal purpose, both in perfect equilibrium within silence and stillness. Universal will is universal intelligence. Universal purpose is universal love. Universally in equilibrium, in mutual restraint, out of which all things, visible and invisible, and human impulses have taken form. If you could receive the fullness of universal reality into yourself, you would be disintegrated by its explosive power and dissolved into formless consciousness awareness. It is as far transcends the individual humanhood as the heat and light of your sun is billion times more powerful than the light of your fireflies flickering in darkness. When I was on earth, I made a distinction between your Father in heaven and your Father within you. When I spoke of your Father in heaven, I meant universal intelligence. Because of the Jewish attitude to women, I only referred to this aspect of universal consciousness. Now, to you who are so aware of the equality of genders, I speak of Father-Mother consciousness in equilibrium within universal consciousness awareness, where Father consciousness is universal intelligence, Mother consciousness is universal love. The tool of Father consciousness, creative energy, electricity, is in a state of mutual restraint, equilibrium with the tools of Mother consciousness, creative energy, magnetism. Because Father-Mother tools, electromagnetism is in equilibrium within universal consciousness, it will never be detected within space by scientists, no matter how they may probe space. The impulse, Father consciousness will, is intelligent activity in equilibrium with the impulse, Mother consciousness purpose, is nurturing for survival. Father-Mother consciousness is a powerful impersonal force, yet it is personal for you even before you seek to make contact with it. As you evolve spiritually, you will feel it, for it is the reality of being. It is everywhere and within everything. Father consciousness is the intelligent love which gives intelligent energy and momentum to the world of complex forms expressed physically as electricity. Mother purpose is the loving intelligence which gives purpose and the impulse for survival to the individualized complex forms expressed as magnetism, bonding, and repulsion. This is it for today. Thank you. I love you. God bless you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.